just going to do a quick update on the incubator that we set up for Zoe. It is currently the day after Christmas. The incubator's been running for about 2 weeks now. She's actually at her father's house, and she still doesn't know that it's her incubator. But by the time I edit and post this, she should be home and she should know. So it's safe for me to say Zoe's incubator. All the eggs in this incubator are Zoe's, part of the gift. But anyways, I did say in the last video that I was going to do a tutorial per se on how to candle chicken eggs, what you're looking for, what you're wanting to see, what you're not wanting to see, and how to do it. So basically, let's get started. I'm gonna have to turn this light off, so yeah, you won't be able to see me much. But before we get started, I just want to tell you, all thing you really need is a good dark room and flashlights. This is just a regular, just cheap pin light. I mean, I think about like $8 at Walmart. But you just want to, I like a smaller light with the smaller, head on it. That it just makes it easier. You set the egg on top, you can really see what's going on inside the shell. That's what you're looking for. A bigger light will work, but the more light you're casting outside the eggshell, it's just can make it harder to see. So I like the ones that are the smaller flashlight head, just pin lights work great. So yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna turn the light off and be right back and show you guys these eggs. Alright guys, we got the light off, got the flashlight, and sorry for the background noise. I actually did end up hatching out a few of those quail eggs that I had in the big incubator. I'll show you a little picture of them. We didn't have a lot of fertile eggs. I think it might be this time of the year, the weather, so we're going to work on another hatch. I actually got another run going, and we're going to see what we can get out of that one. It could have been something I done, could have been the eggs. We'll find out later. But that's for another video. All the eggs in this incubator here are chicken eggs. They're all, like I said in the last video, barnyard mixes. And yeah, so we're going to show you guys what a fertile egg looks like in a non-fertile egg. And by now, we should be able to see some embryos move. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera. I have never tried this before. So bear with me. Let's see what happens. And so, when I like to do it, our eggs are essentially pointing down. I like to take my flashlight. We're going to turn it on super bright, of course. We're going to set it on top of the egg. And let me get a little closer to the camera. Alright, so that's actually not too bad. As you can see, inside there, you see those veins? Those veins there are what you're looking for. That's a fertile egg. Now, as you can see on the inside, the embryo is actually moving around. That chick is well and alive and doing good. So that's a nice embryo and a nice developing egg. Like I said, these are about burnt myself a little bit on the egg turn. These eggs have been incubating for now, I want to say it's I gotta check the calendar. I'm just gonna go roughly say 2 weeks. So they have actually a little over 2 weeks, because I want to say they go on lockdown tomorrow. It'll actually be locked down. So I'm doing this. I'm going to take out any bad eggs that I come across today. Actually, I smell something that I think I might have a rotten egg. So this is a game of, minds right now. So hopefully we successfully remove the bomb and defuse it before it explodes. So anyways, let's keep on going. So, said, knowing that we have potentially explosion on our hands of rotten egg, I'm doing this with the utmost, carefulness, being really careful. But so this is another one right here. I'll hold it up for you guys to see. I'm trying to get the light worked around. Maybe some of the darker shells, they're harder to see into. All right, so when I said in the last video, you put them, you see this clear spot up here, that really lit up spot. That's the actual air bubble that the egg forms in the round part of the shell. And that's why we put them pointing end up. It helps when it gets closer to hatching. And this is from the bottom. This egg's a lot darker. You know, guys, excuse me with the flashlight. This egg's a lot darker. It's hard to see on camera, but there actually is some really good veins forming. Y'all might be able to see that. Y'all can see the embryo moving right there. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. But yeah, that's another good fertile egg. So that's awesome. I did it again and burnt myself. This motor on this egg turner gets extremely hot sitting as an incubator, and I keep touching it and it's burning me. But we'll be all right. We'll get through this. All right, let's see. It's another good one right here, guys. I'm really sorry for the flashlight all in the camera action. All right, look at that thing move, man. This thing's in there dancing. But another great. You see the veins. You should be able to start seeing veins in your chicken eggs while incubating within the first week. Initially, that's what you're looking for. What you're not looking for, what you don't want to see in an egg. This one I've already previously candled. I know it's a bad egg, and I'm going to show you what you're looking for as far as what you don't want to see. When I put the light to it, it's going to be like this. You see how it's super bright. There is nothing going on inside of the shell. It's see-through. After about 3 days, you should start seeing veins. This is I guess a white cream colored egg. So honestly, within 3 days, a white egg, you should start seeing veins forming if it's fertile. Keep that in mind, if it's fertile. No later than a week. If it looks like this after a week, take it out of your incubator, because you will end up like me with a ticking time bomb in your incubator. So don't do as I do as I say. That, you know, good saying. But that's the example of a bad egg. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. I'm gonna hop off camera for a second. I'm gonna go through some of the eggs. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for something else I want you guys to see, and if I can find one, which there might be one in here that I can show you better, what it looks like for an egg to be fertile but not actually develop past a certain extent. And there is a way to tell early on before you end up getting too far in your hatch. At this point, the embryos should be moving. You should see live embryos moving. If you do not see movement and it's really dark in the shell, not any movement going on, you probably might want to toss it. So like I said, I'm gonna hop off camera for a second just to knock this out, because I don't leave my incubators open any longer than 30 minutes. If it wasn't filming, I could be done with this whole process, candling all 42 of these eggs in just a matter of minutes. But for filming purposes and trying to explain what I'm doing and how am I doing it, it's going to take a little longer. So I'm going to hop off camera. I'll be back here in a minute and I'll give you another update on what's actually going on inside of Zoey's incubator. So y'all guys stay tuned. Alright guys, I'm back. We're on the rail number 4. We've actually taken out a couple bad eggs that I'll show you some of those. But this is what I was hoping to find as far as a bad egg goes. Now, honestly, this is dangerous, but I can smell it. It's not the rotten egg. I still haven't. I think I might have found it, and might not have. But a lot of times you got a rotten egg, you can smell it through the shell. But it's risky business, so keep that in mind. If you want to go around smelling eggs for a rotten egg, there's a possible chance you're going to get a nose and mouth full of rotten egg. But anyways, this is what I wanted to show you. Alright, let's see. To the untrained eye, this egg could appear to be fertile or doing something. See all those dark lines in there? All that, it's really hard to see on the camera. But from my point of view, where I can see, I can get this just right. This light. Alright, see right there, those are actual veins. dark lines right in there that you're seeing at the bottom of the light bulb. Those are veins. But when they're dark like that and they come solid out and they kind of, see that right there, that dark spot right here on the side of the shell right here where my finger is, and follow it all around to the front over here, that's bad egg. This egg was fertile, and either it was fertile but not strong enough embryo, or it was on the verge of losing its fertility. And what happened was it started incubating, but the embryo was not strong enough to make it all the way through the hatching process, and therefore it died, essentially died inside the shell. So that is what you want to look for. The sooner you can catch that, the better, because like I said, these eggs here are going more or less into week 3. So you're really at that line of, I like to pull eggs out a lot sooner than this, but with the holidays and everything that's going around, we've been so busy, I kind of haven't really been messing with this incubator too much, other than just keeping my humidity and my temp right. And so here's another one. I can't show you on camera because it's like you won't see it. It's a green egg. It's from one of our Americanas. You won't actually be able to see it, but you can definitely tell where it's. The easiest way to put it, and some of you guys may have seen this before while incubating eggs, but imagine the inside of the shell, you'll see like a blood ring all the way around the shell. And it's obvious to tell it's blood, like it's a vein, but it's just a solid ring around the shell, or it's kind of like washed out. If you don't see veins forming and you just see like a blood ring just around the shell, 10 to 1, that egg was fertile. Your rooster was doing his job. Either egg was just a little too old, or something happened to that egg in the process of before it was incubated, and it just did not make it. And don't be afraid to take those out, because honestly, that's where they need to go, out and disposed of properly. You know, essentially, we're not looking for rotten eggs. I mean, you know, you are hoping not to find rotten eggs in your incubator and everything else. So the sooner you can remove the bad eggs, the better. I like to candle at week 3. I mean, at day 3, at the first candling, but you can wait till like day 7. First week, let it get a full weekend. Dark color eggs, the darker the egg, the harder it is to see the veins. Some of these eggs are so dark that I can barely see through the shells. So it's kind of like just taking a shot in the dark sometimes, and you might have to wait till a few days later. Now, light colored eggs, like cream colored eggs, white eggs, you should be able to see. That's another bad one. These are some that we had found a nest from one of our Americana hens that was out, and I just took a chance on these eggs, and I have a feeling a lot of these won't be too good. They are fertile, and you might be able to see it on this one. That's what I'm explaining. That's what I'm trying to explain. See that red ring? There you go, that's better. That red ring right there, that was a fertile egg. It's fertile, or well, was. But it's just to the point where it will not, there's nothing going to happen from that egg. She had a nest, not sure how old these eggs were. We found it in our hay, and I was like, well, we're setting up and this is a dud. See, there's just nothing. Sorry about the light, guys. Just nothing going on in there. No veins, no signs of embryo development. And luckily, it's not rotten. I'm still smelling the rotten smell coming out of this incubator. I just got to find the egg that it's coming from. This is a good one. Once again, oh, sorry. I wasn't even looking at the camera, so I had no clue that I was completely blinding you guys. I'm horrible at this. Bear with me. But there's good veins. There is a dark spot right there that you can see, but that is actually the embryo inside this shell. And it is alive, it is moving. It's just a really dark shell, and told you wrong. No, yeah, there it is. It's moving. So it's good. It's still now. Of course, at this point, there's still plenty of room for air. If your temperature goes down too bad, your humidity gets off during lockdown or something like that, there's a good chance that you can still mess up and, you know, cost you some of your hatch. I've had instances where I lost some of my hatch, not all of it. I've had instances where I lost entire hatches, and I have instances where I thought something went wrong, and I still successfully hatched a good number of my chicks. I'm sorry. It's just I'm trying to locate this egg. If I can smell the egg, then I know to be extra careful. That's the only reason I keep smelling these eggs. Is a personal preference. Me personally, I'm not extremely worried about catching a rotten egg to the face. Even though, like most people, I would definitely prefer not, but it wouldn't be the first time that I've been covered in rotten eggs, so it'll be alright. It's part of the farm life. If you're going to do this, then keep the mindset that if you're going to incubate your own eggs, there's a chance that you're going to have an explosion on your hands. And that's even without incubating, just owning chickens. If you free range them, you might come across a nest, you know, that a hen had made and you didn't know about, and you come across it, man, 10 to 1, you're going to find something in there you didn't want to smell. So keep that in mind for all you folks that free range your chickens like I do. A lot of ours are free ranged, and so here's another good example. That dark spot floating around inside there, that is an embryo that did not make it. There's no veins. Once your embryo dies inside the shell, you will no longer see the veins. The veins go away. It's kind of like everything dies. Everything that was alive. That little dark spot right there where my finger is. That is what was the beginning of a developing chick. Some of these eggs were just older. I had some around the house that we just stuck in here. Edible, yes, they were edible at the time we put them in here, but as far as still fertile, they lost their fertility. Well, usually chicken eggs can stay fertile for upwards of 3 weeks. A hen can stay fertile by being bred to one rooster up to 21 days, and she will continue to lay fertile eggs. So she can be. That means she could mate with that rooster one time and lay 21 eggs after that, and all the eggs be fertile. But I typically like to get my eggs in the incubator around the 2 range mark or sooner. The older they get, the less, the more likely for the fertility to go down. Now, as far as consumption, you can still eat an egg as long as it hasn't been washed or it's been properly stored. You can still consume the egg and be completely fine. So this is another good one. So all in all, about half my eggs so far were, oh, there it is. And it looks like this one right here is the smell that I've been smelling. It must have had like a hairline crack or something, but it's obvious that there's something definitely wrong with this egg. And this is another reason you clean, sanitize your egg trays and your incubators after every use, because you never know. You could have a hairline crack in an egg, and it allows it allows air to get inside the shell, into the yolk and stuff, and this is probably the stink bomb that I've been trying to find, and it was fourth to the last. No, I'm not smelling. This thing looks nasty. Like, I can tell, like, yolk's been oozing out. It's seriously, I'm scared to hold it. I'm about to take this outside right now and chunk it as far as I can, and hopefully it's far enough away from my smell, because this thing just looks rough. It ain't going near my nose. So hopefully I can make it outside and dispose of it properly. But I guess for now, I'll be back and we'll do a final update on how many eggs that we actually ended up successfully saying that the embryos are currently still alive, going into lockdown. I think it's tomorrow, so that'd be great stuff there. But all right guys, stay tuned and we'll be right back. All right guys, we're at the conclusion of this video here. As of where we stand right now, essentially going into lockdown, Zoey May is at 21 eggs. Exactly half of this batch was good, and the other half wasn't. Majority of the eggs that were good honestly came from Shauna and Ray. We had some around the house, like I said. I had them setting up. Some of them may have been a week or so old, maybe even a little older, that we just had on the counter. Like I said, they're still within edible range as long as they haven't been washed, which none of these eggs were washed. It's just the fertility thing had just went down. So essentially, you know, we lost a little bit of fertility on them, and I mean, it happens. It really does. I'm not really too disappointed. Like I said, it's a blessing either way you look at it. She's been wanting an incubator. That's one of the only things she's asked for Christmas, and she's been asking for one for over a year now. And we were able to get her one this year, and she has no clue that the eggs are hers. Once again, thanks to our friends at KC Family Farms, Shauna and Ray. Once again, awesome people. Their chicken eggs are looking great. So we do have some more eggs from another family that we're friends with, another group of homesteaders, which you can look them up on Facebook at Tilted Glass Homestead. Tilted Glass Homestead. They're also located in this area. Another Daniel and Amanda Blaylock, they are really good people. That we got a round of Easter eggs from them that Zoey doesn't know about as a Christmas gift. I'm just going to go ahead and put the spoiler out there because she should be home before I post this. Yeah. So like I said, essentially they're going into lockdown probably in the morning, well, tomorrow night, and I got to sorry, I am extremely tired. Like I said, the holidays, we've been going nonstop past few days. Just bear with me. I'm really tired. I just wanted to do an update because I know I'm getting close to going into lockdown on these eggs. I actually have some chicken eggs in this incubator behind me that's going in lockdown, and I have some more quail eggs that are turning right now in that incubator, which I'll do another update on quail eggs. Generally the same idea with the candling flashlight ordeal, which I just candled those, and I know everything in there is fertile because I candled them before I made this video. I guess I could have done a video. I ended up putting 20 eggs in, and 16 were actually fertile enough for me to leave them in. They're on their first week, which quail takes like 15 to 17 days to hatch, so it's a lot shorter period. It's about a week shorter than chicken eggs. Chicken eggs do take 21 days to hatch. That's why I was saying a lot of people like to candle at 7, 14 days, and then you don't know about day 18 going into lockdown. One final little peep inside the shell. Let's see what's going on. Some of the eggs that were bad, I knew they were bad going into today's video, but I wanted to show you guys, and just really is to finally had the time to make this video and get it all done before the process was done. I promised to bring y'all guys along. I actually know Daniel and Amanda over at Tilted Glass Homestead actually has a new incubator, and they're doing their first run. So I hoping that maybe they can watch this video in time, because I think they are about 9 days away from hatch on their incubators. So maybe I can give them little ideas from this video on how to properly candle the eggs and get ready for lockdown. Which, since we're here, we're about to go into lockdown, I'm going to explain that a little bit more. Lockdown essentially is just a period of time, about 3 days before you hatch your eggs, to allow the eggs to stop turning. They are turning right now. Once they go into lockdown, they will just lay them down in the bottom of the incubator. This incubator here has a screen that we'll lay the eggs directly on top of. Take the egg turner out. We will lock this incubator down. We will not open this lid until it's time for the chicks to come out. That's one reason it's so important to candle eggs. Like I said, if you don't candle your eggs, you can end up with ticking time bombs. And trust me, when I say this, they will explode inside of your incubator. If you don't trust me, if you don't want to take my word for it, find out for yourself and you clean that mess up, because it is rough. I did have some quail eggs one time, and I don't know what happened, if I lost track of time on them or something, but I literally had some explode inside of that incubator, and it was a disaster. I can't even express that enough. So please candle your eggs. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube. If you don't, if you want to look more into this, some people might cover it a little more in depth, but please candle your eggs going into lockdown, or throughout the whole process. But going into lockdown, definitely, because in the last 3 days is pretty much crucial. You want to keep your temperature at your 99.5, or you can go a degree or so above, a degree or so below. But honestly, 99.5 is where you want to be. So that said, now once going into lockdown, throughout this whole process, this incubator, at least to this hygrometer, which is the measurement tool to measure the humidity in the air, the hygrometer or hydrometer, however you want to pronounce it, but the hygrometer is been set at roughly about 50% humidity, which is perfect. I like to run mine during the incubation process of the first 18 days at about 45 to 55% humidity, and then going into lockdown, I add a little bit more water to it. And a way to raise humidity too, you can mist some water in the air to raise it, or I also found out if you get a sponge work, or like in this incubator I have water trays, if you get steaming hot water and just add a little bit, the steam will help evaporate and put moisture in the air. It's a good way to raise it without trying to do anything with your temperatures or anything like that. So that's another good thing to keep in mind. Sponges work really well, so that's another good thing to keep in mind. But yeah, I like to raise my humidity up somewhere roughly between 55 and 65% humidity. I like it to go up a little bit. Like I explained in my last video, essentially when you go into lockdown, you want to raise it up. Them chicks are starting to hatch. They need that humidity in the air to help keep that shell and the membrane inside that shell moistened enough to actually help them tear through it. If it's too dry, the membrane will actually dry and kind of shrink wrap to the chicks, and it makes them extremely hard for them to hatch out. So you may have perfectly healthy babies starting to hatch, but too dry can cause them to not hatch out completely and dry out inside the shell, which you don't want to happen. And also, the reason, like I said in the last video, call it lockdown, is because you don't want to open this up. Once you know that they have picked the shell, which is essentially the first little hole you see that the chick breaking through, it could be 24 hours before the chick actually hatches out of that egg. So you want to keep the mindset that you open the incubator up, cold air rushes in, and it does the same shrink wrapping effect to the baby chick on the inside. So like I said, the next time I open this incubator up will be officially to put these eggs on lockdown. I'm gonna take the egg turner out. I'm gonna lay them in the bottom of the tray. I'm gonna add some hot water to raise my humidity up, and then I'm gonna leave it alone for the next 3 days. once the chicks hatch, they can safely stay inside of the incubator for 48 hours. And I think it's really between 42 and 78 hours. They can, like, almost 3 days. They can stay in without eating or drinking anything. But after you hit the 3-day mark, if they have to eat, they have to drink. But so if your first chick hatches out a day early and everything else is a little bit behind, don't freak out. Don't worry. Don't rush in there to take it out. Like, I have to get into my brooder. You have a little bit of time. But guys, this is going to conclude today's video. Thank you all for following us along on our journey on our homestead, bearing with us on our videos, and just I hope you guys are enjoying what you see. I do have some more stuff that we have been asked to make. I got a video that I've started, I haven't finished up yet, about a watering system and my mobile chick brooder. So I have that out very soon and let you guys check that one out. I think it's pretty cool. I think some of you guys might get some good ideas off of it. May open some, some doors or some windows upstairs to help let some new ideas flow in. So that's be pretty cool, I guess. I have an automatic chicken water system that I actually had a friend of ours reach out and ask for like a tutorial on how to do that. I have somewhat of a video of that video that I made explains it. I might make another one to go a little more in depth of how I actually put it all together. But yeah, so with that being said, you guys, God bless. Y'all stay safe. Please like, share, and comment. Share on all your social media platforms. Like all of our videos and comment any comments or questions, concerns that you may have, or just want to talk about. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel, and that it really helps us out here on the homestead. And y'all stay safe in this weather, this time of the year. If I don't see y'all before, please, y'all have a great new year. Let's bring in the new year great, and happy new year, guys. Let next year be all it can be. Hopefully a better run than 2020 has been. So with that being said, you guys stay safe and God bless.